You ever have one of those moments where life just hits you with something so unexpected that your brain needs a full minute to reboot? That was me the day I found out I'd won the lottery. And I'm not talking about $10 or a free ticket. I'm talking $200,000 actually landing in my life after taxes. The original prize was about $350, but the government did what the government does, and I walked away with just a little over $200. Still, for someone who'd been drowning financially, it felt unreal. What makes it even funnier is how unglamorous the whole thing started. People always imagine some dramatic story, like I bought a ticket on a whim while the universe whispered, "Today is your day." Nope, I was that guy who played all the time. The guy who scanned every ticket and submitted them for second chance drawings because, hey, I figured someone had to win eventually, so why not me? Turns out, my name finally came out of that digital hat. But the part that came afterward, that's where it got real. Because before this win, I wasn't exactly the definition of financially responsible. I had credit cards piling up, student loans haunting me, personal loans sprinkled in like seasoning on top of a financial disaster. Every paycheck felt like it evaporated before the ink dried. Some weeks, I'd hit zero. Other weeks, I'd slide straight into negative territory like it was a hobby. And the thing is, I knew exactly how it happened. Those credit card offers showed up in the mail, looking all shiny and exciting. And instead of treating them like the traps they are, I treated them like bonus income. I'd swipe, 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 and then pretend the bill was a problem for future me. Spoiler, it wasn't a problem future me appreciated. So winning that money came with this weird mix of relief and fear. Relief because suddenly I had a way out. Fear because I didn't trust myself not to screw it up. The last thing I wanted was to be one of those people who say, "Yeah, I won 6 figures once," and somehow ended up right back where I started. I didn't want this to be temporary. I wanted it to be a turning point. My plan seemed simple enough. Pay off all the debt, about $30,000. Help replace my wife's car since hers had completely died. And finally start thinking about a down payment on a house. For the first time in a long time, I felt like my family and I had a little bit of breathing room. And believe me, when you've spent years gasping financially, breathing room feels like winning the lottery twice. But the real challenge wasn't the money. It was me. Because here's the thing no one tells you. Your money problems don't magically disappear just because you get money. You can wipe out the debt, but if the habits stay the same, the debt will come right back with friends. And I didn't want to repeat the cycle. I was making good money already, over $100,000 a year, so clearly the issue wasn't how much I earned. My wife worked too, making around 40. On paper, we should have been stable. But we weren't, because we weren't paying attention. We weren't budgeting. We weren't tracking. We were just hoping everything would somehow work out. Hope is not a financial plan. I learned that the hard way. So I sat down for the first time ever and looked at the actual numbers, the real ones, not the fantasy version where I pretended eating out wasn't costing us a small fortune. I pulled up the bank statements. I looked at what groceries really cost, how much gas we were using, all the little purchases we forgot about but somehow kept making. And the truth was loud. I wasn't broke. I was disorganized. I wasn't unlucky. I was undisciplined. The lottery didn't fix my habits. It just exposed them. And it gave me the one thing I'd never had before, a clean slate big enough to start over. When I finally sat down with my wife to build a real budget, not wishful thinking, something clicked. For the first time, we weren't guessing. We weren't hoping. We weren't playing catch-up. We were making a plan based on who we were and what we earned, not who we wished we were. And honestly, that changed more than the money did. Because the truth is, the real win wasn't the $200,000. The real win was finally deciding to take control instead of letting life control me. Winning the lottery got me out of the hole. Changing my mindset is what's going to keep me out. And that, more than anything, is the part of the story that matters. Not the lucky draw, not the prize amount, not the taxes, but the moment you look yourself in the mirror and say, "No more. I'm going to do better. And this time, I mean it."